Today we're talking about categorizing your dance company prospects. So what does that even mean? In the Whole Dancer Audition Success Workshop, we chatted about the different tiers of companies. So I shared a resource for everyone who was at the workshop that detailed ballet companies and their yearly budgets. And it also had links to the website, and it said where they were located, and it also detailed what style of dance they focused in. So what's the value in knowing a ballet company's yearly budget? So you'll tend to see that amongst the largest companies, budgets are in a similar category. The amounts that they have at their disposal every year is clearly what dictates both what money they have to go towards performances, but also the money that they have to pay their dancers and the money that they have to develop dancers as well. So it's important to look at those things in order to see what levels of company you're going to audition for. Top tier are going to be the ones that are making or that have at their disposal in the millions and multi-millions. Mid tier is going to be closer to the $1 million mark. And then the lower tier are going to be companies that have about $500,000 or less at their disposal yearly. So you'll go through, and it's going to be different for everyone. Someone's top tier company might be Boston Ballet. Somebody else's top tier company might be Ballet Met. These are different tiered companies, but your personal tiers are what you should be interested in. Why looking at that? Why do we want to look at that? When you set up your audition plan, you don't want to only be auditioning for companies that would be considered like a reach company, one that's going to be much more challenging for you to get into. You definitely want to go for some of those because you never know what kind of training opportunities you might be offered, scholarships to summer programs, traineeships, things like that. So it's worth keeping those options open, especially if you've not trained at a professional school. Going into a big company's training program might be of huge value to you at this point. You have to look at what you need for your career now, which is going to be so different from one dancer to the next. Then you're going to want to find what would be like a safety company, a company that might have a smaller budget, maybe one that does not employ a ton of dancers, and maybe one that's going to be more of just a starting point for you. If you feel like you really need that professional experience where you're performing, developing artistry, things like that, you can get that from a smaller tiered company. And you're also going to up your likelihood of actually getting a job by auditioning for some of those companies as well. You want to really diversify the auditions that you go for and be strategic about it, okay? You don't want to just go for whatever company happens to be coming to your area or whatever companies just seem, easy to travel to or something like that. You want to look at it in an intelligent way and make a plan that makes sense for your goals and what's going to be your next best step. In addition to that, in addition to setting up all of these lists as far as your top tier, your reach companies, mid-tier companies, and then what we'll call safety companies, you want to come up with a awesome and inspired backup plan. So what's an example of an awesome and inspired backup plan? One idea is to find a company that you think you could fit in at, move to that city, and start taking open class there. By being present in the area and showing your face and meeting people and getting to know other company members and getting to know perhaps artistic staff, oftentimes ballet masters or mistresses will teach adult open class, at least occasionally. So by being there, you're getting to know those people on a first name basis. They are getting to see you day in and day out coming and taking class. They get to see your work ethic. They get to see your dedication. They get to see growth, hopefully, over the course of the year. And they might be just the in that you need. This is actually a tactic that I used myself. And I was taking adult open class for a number of months, and the ballet master of the company is the one who taught the class. And after a while he said, what are your goals? What are you thinking about while you're here? And I said, I would love to dance with the main company. And he said, okay, I'll get you in. And I said, well, okay. They have a certain level of influence, hopefully, with artistic directors. And even if the artistic director is not teaching or seeing you every day, they can hear from ballet master how great you're doing, or just that you would be an asset to the company. And their opinion is huge. And the fact that you've been there, putting in the time, can have a huge impact. It's hard to find a company that you can just jump in and do something like that with. So another backup plan that might be super exciting to you and inspired would be moving to a city where you know there's a high level of talent and you can up-level your training. You have to be careful with this because moving to New York City, for example, is a big endeavor and it can be really draining of your energy depending on what kind of person you are. So I'm from New York, originally not Manhattan, outside of the city. I'm from Long Island. And for me, dancing in New York was good for exposure and, knowing what the competition is like and seeing all of that. But I also found it really kind of exhausting and it didn't fully feed my passion. And in that environment, I found it easy to get, to a point of like feeling like burnout and feeling like I wasn't making progress. So you have to identify what works for you and think about what city might be a good fit. I have to say, I think perhaps I would have fit better in a city like Chicago just because of the smaller size, less, especially ballet competition in the area or something like that. I mean, Boston was a good fit for me. I was able to freelance here. And I also, was able to get good training and make good connections because the dance scene is small. And because it's small, naturally, there's going to be, once again, less competition and more opportunities to perform and freelance and actually get the job. Whereas in New York, when I was auditioning, I had much fewer opportunities as far as actual jobs in freelancing, just because of the huge talent pool. But like I said, that's different for everyone. For you, New York might be the perfect fit for your next step and your backup plan. But you just have to think about that and try to be strategic with where you go next. If any of you need help in formulating backup plans or creating a strategic audition plan for what companies you're going to go for and where you're going to travel to for auditions, if you need help with sending out videos and emails and making those contacts, those initial contacts, and then perhaps you need help with the follow-up or cover letters or things like that, think about audition success sessions. These are 90-minute one-on-one in-depth coaching sessions where we not only are going to talk about the actual planning, we're going to put together your list of reach companies and mid-tier companies and what we'll call safety companies. And we'll also formulate your exciting backup plan that's realistic, but also keeps you inspired and ready to move forward in a positive way. We will also look at resume, CV, photos, video, see if there's anything that needs to be fixed or up-leveled there. And then we'll also get into performance mindset. So when you go to an audition, I know how debilitating it can be and how much that pressure can drag you down and make you feel like you can't move or you can't dance or you're not working up to your personal level of performance. And there are specific tools and strategies that you can use to ensure that you are moving in a positive way towards your dance goals and you are presenting yourself in the best light in these auditions and you're getting closer to moving to the next cut, making the cut in the auditions, you're getting closer to reaching that offer, or you're actually getting the offers because you are in that mindset, performing at your best, and you're able to convey all that you have to offer to a company. And it's going to really maximize your chances of getting that professional dance offer. So think about those audition success sessions. You have to be signed up for them by Tuesday, the 31st. And then you can schedule it anytime, November, December, or January, so that we are pre-audition season, but we're also, getting you in and ready before it all kicks off. If you have any questions about that, you can shoot me an email, jess@thewholedancer.com. Thanks so much for tuning in once again, and I'll be in touch.